Togo Land Liberation TV, echoing the call for self-determination.
Hello, thank you for having time for me once again. I welcome you to the Togo Land Liberation channel, a channel dedicated to the history of Western Togoland. If you are new to this channel, my name is George Kobla Nyakpo. I represent the Homeland Struggle Foundation, the vanguard for Western Togoland self-determination. As you have been watching or you have been following me all this period, you will realize that on this channel, I try to bring your attention to the history of Western Togoland, events that took place in the past, so that you will be informed and know why we are demanding for our country. As usual, I'll be walking you through the 1956 Plebiscite document, which was labeled as the most secret. If you are watching all the previous videos, you realize that this is what I've been doing for all this while. Today is not going to be different. I'm going to continue with you some portion of this document. There's actually more that you need to know. But before we do that, or I walk you through this document, I want us to look at something. I want you to watch a video. Please, as you watch this video, I want you to pay serious attention to this particular video. It's a TV studio discussion between Kweku Bako Jr., which we all know in this country, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, the MP or the Member of Parliament for North Tongue, and Randy Abe, or Dr. Randy Abe, the host of Good Morning Ghana on Metro TV show. So let's watch this discussion, then we come in. Let's watch this video.
These guys, they were recently arrested, sent to court, and treated with kid gloves.
Kid gloves,
and for some good reasons, within contest. The leader himself is so fragile, so frail, so old.
80 years.
You got to be careful handling him. But when they declared their independence, my attitude changed. They should be dealt with according to law. Arrest them. I'm told if some have been arrested, send them to court, charge them, and prosecute them in the name of the Constitution of this republic. Simple. But you see, that Sami is done very well with the history. And I'm very careful doing this, because if I'm not careful, I may be misunderstood. I don't know whether you've seen these books before. Have you seen it?
You showed them to me.
You've seen it?
You showed them to me. Given to you by the former MP.
Yes, Mr. Kusikeda, who is actually a good friend of mine, and he's somebody I respect a lot. He was a member of Ghanaian legislature. But these are intellectual pieces he's put together, historical and intellectual. And that's why I have to be careful, because I haven't seen him play any active role in the thing. But this appears to give an intellectual basis for what is going on. It didn't start today. He's somebody who has gone out to write, not in secrecy, but in open. He sent them to me. So I'm careful.
He's prepared for a debate and a discussion.
Yes, I'm prepared. That person one can contest.
How it's being actualized is a different
It's a different matter. We have no evidence to the effect that he's an activist involved in any of these matters. But the arguments are here.
But the likes of Dr. Obede Samoa totally disagree with him. I also disagree with him, though we belong to the same political party.
And it's been so for a long time. Look, Nkrumah faced that headache. And 1957, February 25th, we had to send troops, police and army, to a certain Alavano and all those places to crush an insurgency. They had formed army, some, militia, armed themselves, prepared to secede. Osajifo had to deploy military police contingent to deal with them. And I listened to something that happened in Parliament on 27th August 1957. One of the heroes of the UP tradition, because they still celebrate him, is known as SG Anto. He was part of the Togoland Congress, which came together with others to form the UP. He was in the Ghanaian parliament, just like Kwesi Kedem was in the Ghanaian parliament. And they were debating the statute law amendment. And he kept on referring to his country, Togoland, consistently. And this portion will be of significance to you. It's deep-rooted, as Sami was saying. In reference to something that my old man, that's my father, Kofi Bakum, had said. So he comes in here and said, the Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Mr. Kofi Bakum, made a statement here the other day. He referred to the incident which happened in Togoland. We're in Ghana. I regret to have been forced to reply to certain statements which were made by him about me personally and about my country. And there was uproar in Parliament. You see, uproar. If I say my country, honorable members must understand it. Togoland is my country. And I'm going to fight and will continue to fight until my country is liberated. He was sitting in the Ghanaian legislature. Then the opposition members cheered. Opposition cheers. The Minister of Information and Broadcasting had the audacity to state in this house that on the eve of independence, the people of Togoland rose up in arms and that the government had to use force to subdue them. See, he was sitting in the Ghanaian legislature. And yet his whole mindset was on the country, Togoland, that he claimed he came from and was going to fight till he got liberated. Achampon faced the same crisis. Honestly, it's been there. It goes off and then it comes. This one, from the intel I've picked up, they actually went to Diana to solicit support. Diana threw them out. I'm talking of the incumbent.
SG Anto was also thrown out in Yendi, his activity. Yendi and Krachi. The Krachi ruler actually ordered the town folks to chase him out of town.
To solicit support, showing that they mean business. They went and conferred with the Togolese government, seeking its support. Because Ghana government suspected maybe the Togolese people were behind it. But Togo has officially distanced themselves and indicated to them they are not going to join them.
That's true.
That's what is going on. Honestly, and I'm happy with what Ablakwa has done. As a member of parliament from that region, that zone, it's good to speak out. I think the Volta caucus of parliament must speak out. Look, all our former presidents perhaps should come together and speak out. But ultimately, the courts should deal with them and deal with them in the name of the law.
No, I can assure you, Uncle Kweku, that the voter caucus is doing a lot behind the scenes. Yesterday we met with Founder Rawlings, and he's also studying the matter closely. He had already dispatched a team and assessing the situation. I'm sure he will speak soon. We are meeting the National Security Minister today.
Fantastic.
So, I mean, it's a matter we are taking very seriously.
They even went to the Constitution.
It's not a joke.
They petitioned the Constitution Review Commission. The one President Mills, they petitioned.
That's true.
The petition is here.
That's true.
Asking for them to be given the chance to move out because according to them, the plebiscite was fraudulently procured. The results.
They're questioning the
and that the UN itself and the British government all aired. So the guys mean business.
And because people are not putting out the facts. We've allowed them for many years to be stating only a one-sided view of things.
You've done very well today.
So, Fifi Bansi.
Yes.
says he's very disappointed when he heard of your cabinet appointment. He was lacing his boots to contest the Northton seat.
No, I'm going nowhere.
First sense of this is a serious business.
What's your beef? People want to secede from Ghana, printed their currency, they have their emblem, anthem. I hear the anthem is in Ever. You have the anthem, the first cabinet photograph, 8th cabinet. What's your beef with that? Freedom of association? Freedom of secession?
There cannot be freedom of secession. There cannot be freedom of association when it comes to these matters. I mean, these are high crimes. I mean, treason. You cannot lead a secessionist movement to take away any part of Ghana after our national construct has been confirmed by the United Nations 2 days after independence. The United Nations accepted the current geographic boundaries and territories of Ghana. And you see, Randy, some people are, trying to make light these matters, joke with it and all of that, but it's a serious matter. It's a very serious matter.
An old man and a few people.
I am a member of parliament from the Volta region, and I can tell you that these people have deep roots and they are making inroads. And if some of us don't speak up and we don't set the record straight, they are really, some of the things they are telling folks on the ground is that, they have the support of the Germans. The Germans are standing by to give them
Which Germans?
Germany, to give them a lot of funding when they finally get a UN approval and they become a republic and all of that. And people are believing it. They say, since the Fourth Republic, we are not getting much in terms of development. As soon as we become a republic, we will receive all the support, especially funding from Germany. They are standing by, and there will be factories, there will be good roads, there will be, the Western Togoland will become paradise overnight.
Where is Western Togoland?
And you see, good question. That's why today I'm here with this book, The History of the Ewe People.
By Jacob Spite?
Jacob Spite. And Jacob Spite is to the Ewe people and to Volta region what Ratri is to the Ashantis.
Yeah.
And what Rockstoller is to the Ekiapims. I mean, he's the most authoritative, anthropologist who has really documented the history and traced the whole historiography and ethnography of the Ewe people. And one myth that this study group is putting out there, it's as though Western Togoland involved the whole of the Western region, the whole of the Volta region, and it's just, a Volta region agenda. The Trans-Volta Togoland cuts across many regions and two countries, Ghana, Togo. It included the Mamprusis, the Dagombas, Dagbon, modern day Dagbon, was part of, if you look at the map. And these are facts. The Trans-Volta Togoland had nothing to do with present day Volta region as it is now. Indeed, they are parts of the Volta region. The Anglo-Tong parts, Keta, were not part of that. Now we have to go back to 1884, the Berlin Conference, the Scramble for Africa. That's where the imperialists met and decided to share Africa amongst themselves. So Germany took the Trans-Volta Togoland. And if you read Jacob Spade's book, page 2, right from the introduction, he gives you the original map of the German, Trans-Volta Togoland, which cuts across parts of Togo, 87,200 square kilometers, parts of Cameroon, 495,600 kilometers, Southeast Africa, East Africa. So what is being described today as Volta region is a distortion which must stop. So, after we all know that these territories were...
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video with me. You see, they say knowledge, if you come to our side of the world, they say knowledge is as big as the baobab tree, and no one person can embrace it. But if you understand this, and you know the importance of history, there are certain things you cannot do. Now, I have some questions to ask. Anybody who is close to Kweku Bako should let him answer this question. And I am just surprised that someone like him, who has been around for some time now, well educated for that matter, let me just say well educated, is holding that position of issues of history. It's as if they don't know how the country Ghana came to existence. They don't know about the born of 1844. Actually, they don't know about it. They don't know which part of the country formed the Gold Coast. They don't know when the Ashantis were brought into the Gold Coast project. They don't know when the Northern Protectorate was brought into the discussion or the project Ghana. They don't even know why the area is called a protectorate, I am sure. And when it comes to the issue of Togoland, I don't know, you say there's nothing there, Togoland. Then why plebiscite? Why must Nkrumah dispatch troops to go and beat some people, kill some people, because they don't want to belong to Gold Coast? Why all this? Why are we being disingenuous to the reality? Why are we fabricating stories around? It is because we have, or they have, a particular position, and that position is what they are holding. So Kweku Bako claimed in this video that there was an official position by the Togolese government. Now, I wish he would have published that Togolese position for everybody to see, all of us to see what actually the Togolese government had told them about the Western Togoland. Do you remember some time ago in 2023, there was issue in Ghanaian parliament about the water to Togo? You remember what happened? What the discussion was? Maybe you've forgotten, but let me remind you. According to the discussion on the floor of Parliament of Ghana, when the minister in charge of that sector was questioned the delay or whatever in the water issue, he claimed that the Togolese had actually laid claim to the water that is for them. So I want Kweku Bako to come out to tell the whole world what the Togolese government had told them about Western Togoland. You see, you cannot just come to the media and play any game across and hoping to gain popularity of kind of a propaganda to twist people's mind towards a particular side. This is why this issue, simple as it is, it has become a problem. It has become a problem in the sense that even Nkrumah could not surmount it. Achampo was not able until today. It is because they are using lies to represent the truth. And you see, the truth always don't bother itself. It just relaxes itself, and as you keep suppressing it, it keeps coming up. So ask yourself, since Nkrumah's time till today, this issue is still around. Why? That's the first question learned people sitting on that particular national platform should be asking themselves. Not to be there, deal with them, do this with them, according to the law, which we know very well that in your expression, you were actually saying that they shouldn't use the law. Because if truly Ghana is supposed to use the law, the Constitution of Ghana, as they have ratified all conventions with the United Nations, African Union, ECOWAS, nobody in Western Togoland will be arrested in the name of what we are doing. Because there's no law anywhere that said Ghana should arrest us for expressing our view. Actually, there's a law in their constitution that every individual have the right to express its political opinion and express it, be able to manifest it. It is actually in their constitution. That is why the United Nations Human Rights Council on arbitrary detention was able to rule in that 13-page document that Ghana have no right in doing what they are doing with our people. So Okujeto, who is an MP, you see, you those who are close to Okujeto, maybe he has refused to listen, or you are not giving him the right counsel as people around him. And you see, one thing that pushed a successful person down the drain is his circle, those who advise him. I want to remind Okujeto, there was one time Okujeto Ablakwa and Honorable the former Speaker of Parliament, Do Ajaho, went to a celebration in Aveno. And in that celebration, Papavi was also part of the celebration. And there was a discussion which elderly people were having about the history of our land, and he put his mouth in it in the discussion. And Papavi told him that he should shut up because he's a small boy. And he couldn't understand the language Papavi used, even though it's ever that Papavi spoke. Papavi said, and he couldn't understand the word. So he asked Honorable Doajaw what the old man is saying. And the Honorable Ajaw told him that the old man is saying that you are just a child, so keep quiet. I think from that time, Okujeto is never comfortable anytime issues that's around Papavi is being talked about. But that is the truth. If you don't know something, you need to be honorable enough to say you don't know it. Trying to make sure that people feel that you know the thing doesn't, it will not even help you yourself. So those who are around Okujeto should advise him. Now, that is what I want. The next thing is that I want you to ask these people why the West Togoland keep coming. They should answer us. Then Okujeto is carrying some book claiming that according to Jacob's speak, he's talking about the. Please, the book that Okujeto is holding is the Ever Statement, or the History of the Ever People by Jacob Speak, and everybody, the book is around. You can go and look for this book and you also read it yourself. The book focuses more on the Vedome Ewe, not the Anglo Ewe. And even not all the Vedome Ewe, because the book just talk about the whole people, the tribes that encompass the whole area. So if you read that book, more is on the whole, the clans that make up who. If you like, go and take the book and read and come and tell me that I am lying. Are you getting it? All the book, it was just a section of the work done by Jacob, which was published, and only the whole side was pulled out for the public. You understand? My understanding is that Togbe Afede was the one who sponsored that his section should be, or the assembly area should be made public for the people to read. So when you look at that book, he did not he did not move into detail into all the various parts of the Ewe. But in the introduction, you hear the Ewes of Ghana, the Ewes of Togo, the Ewes of Benin. You understand? But when you go into it, you only hear more about the Ewes of who. So Okujeto should not come and be telling us what he don't know. That book is not the only one who have the book. And I want to let him know that I have the Jelukope Treaty here. This is the Jelukope Treaty. And at the right time, we'll be looking at, or when I finish the secret behind the 1950s plebiscite, we'll look into the Jelukope Treaty. We should stop lying to our people, because if they follow the lie, it will come to a time, then they will begin to expose themselves to the reality. So it's better you tell them the truth now, so that they know that this is what is, than to try to tell them things that you yourself know is not true. So I want us to look at this particular document. Last time, the most secret document, we read up to point 17, and the 17 says that it might be impossible to secure Antor's support by promising him the CPP's nomination if he were to stand for one of the increased number of seats in the Legislative Assembly, which will be granted to Southern Togoland under the provisions of the Constitution. He should be required to, quote and unquote, work his passage in the CPP ranks. In the meanwhile, possibly being rewarded by seats on statutory board or corporation. A suitable person should be found to persuade Antor to seek an interview with the Prime Minister. You see how they are doing the game. So when you hear people like Okujeto and Co talking about the plebiscite and Koku Bako saying they send a military to go, what has actually happened in the past was rather a crime. Because if the people had actually allowed that, oh, we want to be part of Gold Coast, then why do they revolt? And for you to send military to go and kill them, it means you have forced them. It's an aggression. You force the people to be part of it. So there will always be resistance. Let's continue. 18. It will not be sufficient to win over the opposition leaders unless some concessions can be made to their point of view, to enable them to bring over their followers with them. The best way of doing this is to step up the pace of development in the area. Moreover, the present position is that the Gold Coast is obtaining much more revenue from Togoland than is being spent on the territory, and this fact will become apparent when the 1952 report on the territory is published. This is another cogent reason for seeking an increase in the pace of development. If this is not done, there is likely to be opposition to integration with the Gold Coast on the grounds that the territory is already being exploited by its larger neighbor. Are you following the situation? An additional development plan was promised by the Minister of Defense and External Affairs in the Legislative Assembly last year, and this is now overdue. As far as the southern area is concerned, it is appropriate to associate this with the setting up of the Transvolta Togoland Council. The main funds must be spent in this area, both in the southern section of Togoland and in the Transvolta area of the colony. For this, £1 million is considered necessary. The detailed planning of this expenditure would be undertaken in consultation with the Transvolta Togoland Council, which will be doubtless want a substantial sum to be made available for scholarships. Our people, this is the plan against our nation, our country. This is the plan. This is what should be there to make the whole plebiscite exercise look like we have actually accepted it. Okay, so if people like Okujeto have never come across this document before, this is the reason he cannot even understand anything that is happening around him, even though he shouts or do all kind of things. And the people who are today jumping here and there, we are NDC, we are this, they should arrest them, they should do this. Please, before you demand for our arrest, which you are already doing, produce the 1956 Union document. Produce it. Because if you look at our discussion, most time we demand that for our satisfaction, in a way, we need you to produce the 1956 document. Because we want to know who represents Togoland in signing the document. That, okay, on so and so date, we have voted in a plebiscite, and the purpose of the plebiscite is that we want to be part of Gold Coast. We want that. We want to know who represents us. You see, don't think that we are all a bunch of people who don't know anything. And don't also think that we are jobless people and we don't have anything, that's why we pick up this project. No. Some of you watching me in the NDC know me very well. Some of you know me very well. So it is appropriate, it is better you advise the rank and file of the NDC that is championing arrest them campaign. That all we are saying is that Ghana should produce the 1956 Union document. Let's see it, let it be published. Then we will be satisfied in a bit, because there are things we want to know. And there's nowhere in this world that citizens will be demanding for a common paper of history, and this small paper, this common document, will be hidden from the population, and when they demand to see it, then you say go and arrest them. So long as there is no union between Togoland and Gold Coast, you administering us as Ghana is a fraudulent activity. And you cannot use the police, the military to subdue us. It will not happen. Just as it has been confirmed in this video that this issue has been there since Nkrumah's time till today. No amount of arrests, no amount of kill them will solve it. That is why even till you have people who are serving in the parliament like Anto and Kwasi you have said, but they still tell you that they will fight until they die. So this should ring a bell. This should tell you something. So that I don't just wake up and say all your hope is in your military. All your hope is in the police service. You forgot that the people in the military, they have their families among us. You forgot that the people in the police, they have their families among us. You forgot that. Please, don't let us paint a picture to the whole world that after 68 years now, we cannot reason. Okay? Don't let us paint that picture. We are asking you for a simple question, a simple document. Produce this document. You can't produce it. And all you can do is to arrest them. You are calling for our arrest and those kind of things. Ladies and gentlemen, Togbio, Egba ni ama hevena mia mako video de kare dem. Abale ko kuma woni a nya kpoi. Enya ya blom ye leri. Be de kuku gande mi ma ga kpoi abere mi dugba mo. Na mi kwe dem be mi dako le 1956 mi anya Ghana to o union re mi afa anyi gba pele Ghana do mari. Mi ma gba ola. Dokumenti ya le o union e ko mi jibe mi akpo tare nenya mare e ne be o eni a on Togoland to mi a bobla do mi a de viro pe bobla do kle to are fonye to gbenye maga ko na ma kro ne je be de vio mi ga nye ha de eni a bia mi la won to ha enya mi be mo po document ma po pe no ka tai mo po wa po vo be nu ali e mi gbogbo no ha nwa rago ma jibe no ahirago do for him now du kwadran le ayeme ya lo nukai nuke jojo do agbanle ya na agbanle abale maklina manya ba se nu yo ngora fia se go manu ale ko bo wa jagbagba atrosh le mi fa o gboro agbanle ma ha ba miapanyigba evi Ghana Gold Coast vi de pom le miapanyigba ma awu le wo ntɔ gbɔ numata o hia be wa de 1 million pound million ɖeka gbegbe menye dollar lo pounds mi bugama le gbeme miakpɔ ho nenie nye ma nenye be hafi wa dakɔ tso keke 1956 52 penya ale ko o wa afi miaƒe anyigba kɔ de Gold Coast ƒe plan tamo le kakakaka va da shi na 1956 yo gbɔgblɔm be de even tso 1952 kea edze wo ya kpɔ gbɔ be Gold Coast a ke shino ŋu kpɔ miaƒe anyigba ma kpa ta edze be yo a de ga ɖe million ɖeka gbegbe yi ke nye British ƒe ga minya British ƒe ga le ŋgɔ na ga ɖe sia ɖe million ɖeka gbegbe le 52 kaka va da shi na gbe miato mi bu numɔ ŋuti kpɔ ɖa efia be tso keke 52 amenye ŋuvi kpɔ me Ghana le miaƒe anyigba dzi o ala bubu le agbalẽ ya me ta ne mi ha enya wo hem ɖe goa ɖe mi me ga kɔ politics kɔnɔ wo mo politics a mi kplɔ ɖo ƒe gbogbo ya wa mi me na ɖeke kpɔm le mo ɖe ne mi kpɔna na mi gble miase oku dze toa ŋutɔ ele fuma eyi wo ʋu tsia kɔ ɖe dze nu kɔ wɔni va se ɖe fia government a me fi o va se ɖe fifia tɔŋtɔwo wo fu akpe va se ɖe gbe exɔ ma o be tutum na exɔa nutu xɔ no vɔ le me agblɔ katã he da be na mia yi ɖeka te numɔ katã wɔ ga nanewo lia ɖe mina miato nyateƒe ne eku ɖe nyateƒea dzi ɖe enyo kura be na ku ɖe alakpa dzi tameɖeku gã ɖe na mi miaƒe nya mi da ɖea ɖe ne etsa tsitre be nya me le mo wa ɖe miawo mi me hem kple wo he mi be ɖe 1956 ƒe document ya ke wo be mi wɔ union ɖe wa ko ɖo ɖa ne mi kpe kwa ɖe mi da si nya ŋuti na mi dzi be miakpɔ ame yiwo ke ne da si agbalẽ me be ɖe tso le 1956 a ɖe yawo le Togoland ƒe ŋkɔme ye yo da si agbalẽ ya ƒe me eya ame yi tso afi eya ame yi tso afi abe leke dukɔ kpɔtɔewo wo ene ye union document ma ɖe gblɔm be ɖe A B C D a ɖe woawo nye nu yiwo ke wodze be woanɔ dzi le zɔxe zɔlia me kɔ ɖe numɔ ko dzi mi le miakpɔ nye ma ese gɔma numa eko dzi mi le miakpɔ ta mi ɖe kuku gã ɖe na mi me ga kpɔe be ɖe enuyawo mi me ga kpɔe be nuyawo mi la ɖe mi du aɖeke gbamu kura o mi me du aɖeke gbamu ke bo miaƒe dzɔdzɔme nyawoa woawo gblɔ mi le ne nyateƒea na dze ta akpe na mi miaga do go ake le goedo ge mie lea me agbalẽa ƒe nyawo dzi xlẽ ge tso 19 kaka akɔ yi ega gbogbo aɖewo wo ga yɔ ɖe afia keŋ nu yi ta nu yɔ la ɖeka ma ɖewo me na mi ɖeka ne mianya be enya gblɔm mi la ɖe nu yi ta mi nya gblɔm ɖo enye yi ta akpe be egba mi ga wɔ ɖeka kplem nye gbedodo ɖe nye be miaga nɔ anyi kplem ne mia adzro nya yawo me meda akpe na mi ɖe message yawo katã alo eŋuŋɔŋlɔ katã ɖo mi le ɖa yɔyɔ katã meda akpe na mi ɖe wo ta mawo ne yra mi eʋenyigba ne nɔ anyi kple mi eye nu sia nu ke mi ɖoa mawu nana nenye be wonye anyigba ƒe ŋgɔ yi koa mawu ŋutɔ nana ne wòava dzi akpe na mi. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having time for me once again. This is how far today's section has been. When we meet again, I'll walk you through from number 19 downwards, where there are some huge figures that are placed here, and we have to understand what all these things. There's 1.5 million euros and pounds and some king. There are a lot of serious things are in this document. This most secret. That's why they call it most secret, because it reveals a lot about what is happening. So if you don't know what we are talking about, I will advise you to read and learn. You understand? So that if you call the police on us, you call it with confidence, with evidence. Okay? Because I want to assure you that whether the police, the military, or whatever, this Togoland agenda, none of those institutions can stop it. I'm assuring you. And we, those who are leading this fight, until you answer our questions, until the court produce our answers. All the arrest that is going on is rather going to be prolonging the discussion. And there's nowhere in the Constitution of Ghana that if citizens, as you claim we are, we demand for a document, you cannot produce it. And we have the right to demand for our country because we are not part of Ghana, we are not part of Gold Coast, and we did not sign any document to belong to the British Gold Coast projects. We did not sign any documents. So don't come and force a nationality on us. And when we reject it, you send your police to come and arrest us. You send your military to come and kill us. This cannot continue. So thank you so much for having time for me. I invite you again that we look into the rest of these documents. Thank you. See you next time.
Togo Land Liberation TV, echoing the call for self-determination.